Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Lami Ali. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the reappointments of the entire executive management of the Nigeria Export Bank, Nexim. The reappointment follows the fact that the members of the current management of the bank were appointed on 10th April 2017 and their first five-year term is due to expire on 9th April 2022, as contained in a statement by Yunus Tanko Abdullahi, Special Advisor, Media and Communications to the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning. Those involved in the reappointment are Abba Bello, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Bala Bello, Executive Director, Corporate Services, and Stella Eruvu Okotete, Executive Director, Business, as well as exemplified by key achievements. The fault in commercial banks and federal agencies on the 1.2 trillion naira unclaimed federal government funds are to refunds to the government's coffers or face legislative action. This was the resolution of the House ad hoc committee investigating the issue after submissions by the affected banks and agencies. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
The chief executives were on oath before the House of Representatives ad hoc committee. The investigation is to dig deep, make analysis, and uncover the totality of unclaimed federal government funds owed by commercial banks and alleged infractions by the Central Bank of Nigeria.
You are owing the federal government of Nigeria 239,754,123.94
There are 6 corporate accounts that don't have BVN and 1 individual account, and all the accounts are blocked. They don't have any transactions with Citi.
We've been trying our best to remit whatever is due to the government until 2016, where we had issue and we were compelled to remit.
We have to go back, review the numbers, respond appropriately.
Also under scrutiny are federal government intervention programs and failed projects.
We decided as the House of Representatives to ensure that all this money that you are sitting on should be transferred to the federal government so that it will help our system.
The Corporate Affairs Commission, Joint Admission Matriculation Board, First Bank and Union Bank are expected to remit various figures into the federal government coffers. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA.
Determined to block revenue leakages in federal government-owned leased assets, the House ad hoc committee set up to investigate the matter has visited the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, Abuja, to interface with concerned concessionaires. National Assembly correspondent Mobolaji Moribirin has the reports.
This oversight is part of efforts by the 9th National Assembly to broaden revenue generation of government-owned leased assets. Interfacing with the committee are concessionaries made up of traders, vendors and tenants. They took turns to answer questions raised by the lawmakers, particularly on the allegation of non-compliance to payment of agreements.
Your relationship with FAN as an agent of government, federal government for that matter, the House is here to investigate your dealings with them. So what do you have to tell us?
My company is into aerogeographical survey. We are not owing.
Oh, they are not.
Even this year rent, this is the proof of payment.
Made some payments, which I have the receipt copy with me.
We have gotten all the information we need, and we are now in a better pedestrian, both FAN, the concessionaires, and we. So sanctions will be applied in due course.
The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria made a plea to the legislators for a quick passage of laws that will ease the means of doing business as it affects concessionaries.
There is need for the National Assembly to expedite the passage of the Nigerian Customs and Allied Matters law, so that the duty-free on arrival could be effected like every other country.
The oversight is to unravel and block all financial leakages of government-owned lease assets to improve revenue generation in the country. In Abuja, Mobolaji, Mori Birin, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, at a public hearing, has proposed a single board for Civil Defense Corps, Correctional, Federal Fire and Immigration Services to fill the existing gaps in the operations and activities of the 4 agencies in the country. National Assembly correspondent Dayo Gunshola reports.
The bill for an act to repeal Nigerian Immigration and Prison Services Board, Act of 2004, and enact the Civil Defense Corps, Correctional, Federal Fire and Immigration Services Board is an executive bill. These and 5 other bills are up for impulse from stakeholders.
Structure and functions of the board under the extant act are not reflective of the current practices and the realities within the board and all the services being administered.
We are appealing that the board should handle level 8 and above, while the rest level should be handled by service chiefs, that both immigration, correctional, and fire.
Leadership of the National Assembly believes that such legislations are capable of encouraging collaborations among the agencies.
2 of the other bills relating to Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps intend to address the problem of overlapping mandates.
These amendments will put the Corps in the loop and help in tackling these challenges.
The bill for an act to repeal Fire Service Act, when passed, will provide additional powers for the agency as first responder in emergency situations in the country. From the National Assembly, Dayo Gunshola, NTA News.
And away from the National Assembly, President Muhammadu Buhari this Friday granted audience to the Chadian leader Mohamed Idris Deby Itno on a one-day private visit. This is coming barely 24 hours after playing host to his Nigerian counterpart, Mohamed Bazoum. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu brings us the details.
Minister of Power Abubakar Aliyu leads federal government delegation to Germany to fast-track implementation of Presidential Power Initiative, which Siemens is the contracting firm.
Governor Malabuni on arrival was received by members of the Yobe State Executive Council, APC stalwarts and stakeholders amid a rousing homecoming at Warsala, a boundary community between Yobe and Borno states. At the August 27 Stadium Damatru, it was also a crowd of APC chieftains and loyalists from the northeast region who converged on the arena to show their solidarity to the governor after successfully completing his national assignment. President of the Senate Ahmad Lawan, who saluted the courage, patriotism and resilience of Governor Buni for taking the ruling APC to an enviable position, also described him as an embodiment of reconciliation, unity and proven integrity.
Your Excellency, you have made us proud. We are proud Yobians because you have done everything and anything expected of you as the chairman of the caretaker and convention planning committee.
Other speakers at the Grand Rally lauded Governor Buni's achievements, which include attracting bigwigs from the opposition parties into the APC, reconciling aggrieved members, and above all, placing the ruling APC on a solid foundation of winning future elections. Governor Malabuni, while appreciating the love, solidarity and support shown to him by people of the state and by extension Northeast region size during his 18-month stewardship as chairman, APC Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, membership of the party risen from 11 million to 41.7 million. Featured at the event was the presentation of APC flags to some defectors. Notable among them is the former PDP senator representing Yobe South, Mohammed Hassan. In the newsroom, Unisa Suleiman.
Apologies for the mix-up. That story is actually a report on the grand reception organized in Damaturu to honor Mai Mala Buni's heroic 18-month stewardship of the ruling APC. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari this Friday granted audience to the Chadian leader Mohammed Idris Deby Itno on a one-day private visit. This is coming barely 24 hours after playing host to his Nigerian counterpart Mohamed Bazoum. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
President Mohamed Idris Deby Itno, who is the chairman of the Transitional Military Council of Chad, is visiting Nigeria for the second time since coming to power about 11 months ago. During his first visit, President Mohamed Itno explained to President Muhammadu Buhari circumstances surrounding his coming to power, thanked Nigeria for the show of solidarity when his father died in the battlefield, and promised sustained collaboration and cooperation between his country and Nigeria in the battle against terrorism and insurgency. No reason was given this time for the Chadian leader's visit by the presidency. The high-level one-on-one engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and his guest was held behind closed doors. Details of their discussions that lasted about 1 hour were not disclosed. On coming to power, the Chadian leader promised a return to democracy in 18 months and the readiness of his country to be guided by President Buhari and indeed Nigeria in the journey to constitutional order. In the meantime, the Nigerian leader also granted audience to the ambassador of the state of Qatar to Nigeria, Dr. Ali bin Ghanem Al-Hajri. The envoy delivered to President Muhammadu Buhari a special message from the Qatari monarch Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Now, the federal government targets September this year for the delivery of mobile substations and transformers to boost electricity supply and stabilize the grid. Minister of Power Abubakar Aliyu revealed this in Germany during a visit to Siemens Energy factories. Joshua Ojitu reports.
Abubakar Aliyu leads federal government delegation to Germany to fast-track implementation of Presidential Power Initiative, which Siemens is the contracting firm. The project is to rehabilitate and expand the transmission arm of electricity value chain to wield 25,000 megawatts of electricity by the year 2025. Part of the deal is for Siemens to manufacture more mobile substations and transformers for Nigeria, and the visit of the power minister is to assess progress made in the manufacturing of the power infrastructure.
We had a very, very interactive sessions with them, which was very fruitful. And the promise was that they are going to work with this timeline. I'm happy that the Honorable Minister for Power, Abubakar Aliyu, is here, because his presence here today underscores the importance that the Nigerian government and the minister place on this Presidential Power Initiative.
September this year is the target set by the federal government for Siemens to deliver the mobile substations and transformers. There are expectations that the implementation of the Presidential Power Initiative will boost capacity of transmission to increase supply nationwide. Joshua Ojitu, NTA News.
It's now time to join Kende in our Lagos studio for more reports from the Center of Excellence. Hello, Kende. It's over to you.
Hello, Lami. Glad to have you join us in Lagos. Tolling of vehicles will commence along the Lekki-Ikoyi Link Bridge on the 15th of April as the newly installed equipment are put to test run. Managing Director Lekki Concession Company Limited, Yomi Omomuwasan, said robust discussion is still ongoing with stakeholders on the need to resume operations. Abolade Salami has a situation report.
At 7 a.m., the Lekki-Ikoyi Link Bridge corridor was surrounded by the presence of heavy security personnel to forestall any attempt to cause civil unrest by any person or group of persons. under the guise of protest. As vehicles exiting Ikoyi through the bridge into Lekki had it seamless, same applied to those making their way from end of Bodilon to Lekki Phase 1. The Lekki-Ikoyi link bridge, after 18 months of being out of commercial operation as a result of the end-SARS protest that led to the destruction of some of their properties. Today, the bridge has begun test running of their newly installed equipment. This, the company said, will go for 2 weeks.
We are now seeing vehicular passages. We will know what our system is actually saying, whether it is as efficient as we have seen it on the paper, on the non-live data. That is what we mean by testing. It also means that within this period of 15 days, we are not going to collect money from any motorist to make a passage on the bridge.
Reacting to news making the round on the disposition of some residents to the commencement of tolling of vehicles around the axis, the managing director said several mutual discussions have been reached, while further engagement with stakeholders is still ongoing.
The period will enable us to engage further so that we can arrive at a situation that will be beneficial, mutually beneficial to everybody.
However, before the expiration of the 2 weeks window set, motorists who apply the toll gates and to update their electronic cards as payment of cash is not allowed. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
The Nigerian Customs Service is going a step further in its anti-smuggling and revenue generation drive by bringing on board more support staff to achieve its mandate. Here is the report. The 3-hour mandate of the current leadership of the Nigerian Customs Service, which is reform, restructure, and raise revenue, is coming to play in the discharge of duties of officers and men of the Nigerian Customs Service. This is evident in the inclusion of professionals on the service who will in various capacities support the officers at the borderlines.
We have taught them everything they need to learn for them to succeed wherever they find themselves, be it at the border, doing the anti-smuggling activities, or in the ports, doing their job. We have prepared them, and we believe they are going to contribute a lot to the Nigeria Customs Service.
In less than 3 months, from the parade, the conduct, discipline, high level of integrity, you can see that the sky is their limit. They're the future of customs.
Ibrahim Dahiru is a dentist and one of the newly commissioned cadet officers. Though directly not at the front line, he believes the service will enhance the operation of other officers and men in preserving the security of the nation, facilitating trade, and generating more revenue for the nation.
Since we are the first two to be recruited in the history of the Nigerian Customs as a dental surgeon, to see that those cases that we've been hearing from 1 or 2 people that have been referred from the hospital with help of the management and then facilities, will be able to carry out those procedures or those treatment processes in the customs clinics or customs hospitals.
The 415 cadet officers say they're employing integrity and discipline as their watchword. And that's our contribution from Lagos. Port Harcourt is our next stop on Nationwide. Gabriel is standing by with more stories there after this break. But before that break, we'd like to remind you to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for update.
The 157-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan Railway is the first double-track standard gauge railway to be built in West Africa. The Mobolaji Johnson train station is a masterpiece, an infrastructure that is gradually becoming an iconic building in Lagos State. The modern facilities put the station on a world map of train stations. Likewise, other new train stations across the country built to world-class standards. The train and its convenience is indeed an admirable effort, with commendations from Nigerians.
This is a station that we have to commend the federal government for putting a beautiful face, empowering us in Lagos State, not only in economic and political arena.
I can say that I'm really impressed with the infrastructures in place. Kudos to the Minister of Transportation. Kudos to the federal government.
Truly, good things are coming out of Nigeria, and the federal government is deserving of all the applause.
As the world advances, Samuel Adegboyega University, Ogwa, Edo State, is poised to deliver world-class education rooted in strong academic traditions. In the colleges of law, basic and applied sciences, humanities, management, and social sciences, Samuel Adegboyega University is building the next generation of leaders. Hurry now for 2021-2022 undergraduate and postgraduate admissions into any of our NUC fully accredited programs. Secure admission today in one of the fastest growing private universities in Africa. Also note that the university runs diploma, JUPEB, part-time and tuition-free programs. For more information, visit www.sau.edu.ng or call 0705 079 1226. Samuel Adegboyega University, to nurture for discipline and excellence.
All the thrills and all the action on Nigeria's biggest dance reality show. Glow Battle of the Year is on NTA every Sunday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Candidates who are interested in gaining admission into NTA Television College Jos for the 2021-2022 two-year National Innovation Diploma Program are to apply for admission through the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM. The courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. Such candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects including English language and mathematics. For more information, please contact NTA Television College, Jos, or the marketing department of any NTA station nationwide. Registrar, Announcer.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV Channel 251, GoTV Channel 91, Preview UK Channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Port Harcourt Network Center. The Nigerian Immigration Service is adopting new strategies to further strengthen the country's borders against entry or exit by persons without valid travel documents. Acting Controller General of Immigration, Issa Jere Idris, during a tour of formation in Akwa Ibom State, said the service is prepared to ensure that only authorized routes are accessed by travelers. Clement Barikwe reports.
If we see any strange face that we cannot identify them, we report such face to them.
Even our boys who are operating both there doesn't interfere with the immigration activity.
Oron and Ibaka are border communities in Akwa Ibom State, providing access to about 4 African countries, including Cameroon, Mali, and Ghana. This underscores the importance of the visit by the Acting Controller General of Immigration to the 2 control posts, where he inspected facilities with a view to improving on them for effective border security.
This is the first border I'm visiting, fact-finding, to see it for myself, and I've seen a lot. Since 1971, when the border was created, no CG has visited. I'm here. We're in the first CG to visit the border, and I've seen. The officers are doing well, but they require a lot of logistics.
The use of technology in checking movement in and out of the country, according to the Acting Comptroller General, is the next way to go.
So that is the next level we are going, to use ICT as a tool to be able to monitor our borders.
The Acting Comptroller General had earlier paid a courtesy visit to the Deputy Governor Moses Ekpo, during which the Deputy Governor assured the Nigeria Immigration Service of the state government's continued partnership. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Our traditional ruler in River State, Dr. Eze Chris Akani, who is also a university don, has unveiled 2 books x-raying the historical perspectives of oil and gas in the Niger Delta region and the culture of Okuta clan amongst the Ikwere people. Robinson Daratede has the details of this.
The 2 books written by Dr. Chris Akani of Ignatius Ajuri University of Education, River State, are The Nigerian State and Oil, Okuta, Hegemony, Culture and Politics among the Ikwere people of the Niger Delta. The Nigerian State and Oil, having 7 chapters and 381 pages, corrects wrong perceptions about the politics and exploration of oil in the Niger Delta, as reviewed by Professor Prince Mon. While the second book, with 7 chapters and 403 pages, examines the culture and practice of the Okuta clan among the Ikwere people, reviewed by Professor Emmanuel Okemini.
He has called, or his thesis, it has laid for a paradigm shift, for the leadership to be more responsible.
Chairman of the event, Professor Stephen Okodudu, represented, and other speakers viewed the books as timely, not just for the academic alone, but for anyone who wants to enrich his knowledge about the Niger Delta region.
We will know why it has become more than a desideratum for the Eze to have spared time to write the 2 books.
For a traditional ruler to also have time, not only to teach, but to write books, I think it is something which is commendable.
For Dr. Chris Akani, the books are product of his long-time desire to address the issues of agitations in the Niger Delta occasioned by oil explorations, as well as to preserve the historical heritage of the Ikwere people.
Those who have inherited political power and in charge of distribution of our resources are the people cheating us. Not that it is the final history of Okuta, but it will serve as a firm foundation for further studies, further research.
High point was the unveiling of the 2 books by the dignitaries, among whom was the Director General of NTA, represented by the Zonal Director, NTA Port Harcourt, Posede Adebayo. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Daratede, NTA News.
And that's our package from Port Harcourt. Nationwide continues with Lamin.
Thank you, Gabriel. The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has called on Muslims to look for the new moon of Ramadan 1443 after Hijrah on Friday, 1st April 2022, equivalent to 29th of Shaban. This was contained in a statement signed by the Secretary Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council of Sokoto, Yahya Muhammad Boyi. The sighting should be reported through the following numbers: 0803 715 7100, 0706 741 6900, 0806 630 3077, 0803 614 9757, 0803 596 5322, and 0803 594 5903. Now, 1st of April every year is regarded as April Fool's Day, and on this day, harmless and funny pranks are pulled to make the subjects believe without a clue. In this report, Elizabeth Omori reports on the history of the age-long tradition.
Pregnant? How possible we hear of this? What? It's a prank. The camera's there. You know what? It's a prank.
One of the funniest pranks ever. It's April 1. The day has been celebrated for several centuries by different cultures, though its exact origin remains shrouded in mystery. April Fool's Day tradition includes playing hoaxes, oftentimes yelling, April Fool.
I wake up in the morning, somebody just came and told me, I both want to see me immediately. Before I know, I went out and told me that's a prayer fool.
You become afraid and all of that, but well, at the end of it all, we have to laugh it off.
Some historians speculate that April Fool's Day dates back 1582, when France switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, as called for by the Council of Trent in 1563. In the Julian calendar, The year began with spring equinox around April 1. While some fall for the pranks, others catch the glimpse before they do.
There are many people that are better than me are all gone, but I'm still alive today. This is a new month. We thank God. We hope for the better, that tomorrow will be better than yesterday.
After waking up, yes, there is a greatness. You looking forward to a particular goal. You have life for you to look forward to it.
Well, life is fun every day. Live the best of it. Make an impact every day, because each day is a blessing. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NT News.
In a quest to phase out traditional pen and paper filing of court processes and embracing the ICT, the Federal Capital Territory High Court has inaugurated electronic affidavit registry management system. This new automation will enable the courts to provide improved service delivery to citizens and promote speedy dispensation of justice.
The e-affidavit is accessible. It is now possible to apply for an affidavit from anywhere in the world and receive timeous response from our desk officers.
And we've started something which will make a big difference to the country. And I only pray, sir, that you help us push it to make it happen.
We have given a solution that is credible and also accessible at the same time to the three parties that are necessary involved in the process of the affidavit.
System will also save time, resources, and pinpoint affidavits that are fake. Now, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Musa Bello, says the administration has no plan to shut down Garuki Hospital, contrary to rumors making the rounds in some sections of the media. The minister gave this clarification when he received the executive members of the Nigerian Medical Association, who paid him a courtesy visit in Abuja. Inoze Yakubu reports.
The Garki District Hospital entered into a 15-year concession agreement between the FCT administration and the NISA Medical Group on the management of the hospital. This agreement expires on the 31st of March 2022. FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello noted that contrary to rumors making the rounds, the administration has no plan to disrupt the operations of the hospital following the expiration of the 15-year concession agreement.
Garki Hospital is not going to be closed down. It will continue as a going concern. And then the agreement is not being terminated. It is just going to die a natural, it is just going to expire. And once it expires, there has to be something that will come and take it. But I assure you that this hospital will continue.
Leader of the delegation and chairman Nigerian Medical Association, Dr. Enema Job Amodu, expressed concern over FCTA's alleged decision to terminate the concession agreement of the hospital with NISA Medical Group.
If for other reasons this is the way to go, you may wish to consider the doctors and other healthcare workers working there with a view of retaining their services and to complete their programs such as residency training and internship. The burden of running health facilities by the government is increasingly tasking.
He also reaffirmed NMA's commitment to partnering the FCT administration in providing quality healthcare services to the residents. Onoze Yakubu, NT News.
Now, in furtherance of efforts to maximize efficiency in livestock production, the federal government has flagged off mass vaccination of cattle with a view to scaling up the productivity and profitability of the livestock business. Yohannes Hassan reports that millions of doses of vaccines are being distributed across the country as part of broader economic empowerment drive of the government.
A moment of excitement as livestock farmers sight veterinary officers in their locality. Hussaini Isa, who has been a pastoralist all his life, said before the enlightenment on the vaccine administration, he was unaware of its benefit to his animals.
I know it will increase our profit.
The flag-off ceremony of the free mass transborder vaccination in Maigatari is informed by its large market of livestock and close proximity to Niger Republic.
It will become an annual thing so that we'll be able to get good quality meat, healthy animals, and then we'll be able to meet international standards.
Animal health is important to humans because we consume these animals, and this has to do with transboundary, whereby the animal comes from Niger Republic to Nigeria.
It's a very good effort, and we only need to request for more synergy.
The mass vaccination on transboundary animal diseases flagged up by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development aims to upgrade the production capacity of indigenous livestock and as well bring about significant economic trade and food security in the country. Headers like Hussaini, who are full of gratitude to the federal government for vaccinating their livestock, are going home with the hope of improved productivity. In Kanu, Yohannes Asa, NTA News.
We now move to Makudi to join Susan for more reports on Nationwide.
The federal government has enlisted 690 Benue youths across the 23 local government areas for vocational skills acquisition in 36 thematic areas. This was highlighted during the flag-off of a youth transformation program of the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, HYPERDEC, performed by Governor Samuel Otom in Makudi. Charles Abba reports.
The 690 youths engaged for the training consist of 10% of those physically challenged, 30% of women, and 60% of those that are energetic. Out of the 36 skills acquisition platforms, Amos Luben chose to go for event planning, while Anastasia Usha settled for fish farming.
Very marketable, because a lot of weddings are happening out. Fish farming is part of agriculture and it's marketable.
Benue State Governor Samuel Otom, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Tony Ijoho, who flagged up the HYPERDEC Youth Transformation Program, appreciated the federal government for taking close to 700 youths out the streets of Benue.
As to the participants, you are now ambassadors of Benue State in this program. We want you to do all you can to take this serious project. Make sure that there's 100% attendance. That will now encourage HYPERDEC to do more for the state.
Managing Director, HYPERDEC, Abubakar Sadiq Yawa, the Chairman, Joseph Tefa Itiav, and the new approach coordinator, Lillian Omekara, emphasized that HYPERDEC is a recent creation that has achieved over 90% of its mandate by intervening in areas of flooding, natural disasters, ecological measures, settlement of displaced persons, and many more. The Commission donated over 50 life jackets for those in riverine areas and 10 motorcycles for use in monitoring security situation within the HYPERDEC communities. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
Opinion leaders in Benue State have appealed for renewed peace between Egba and Ologba communities of Agatu local government area of the state. They made the call during the rebirth of Agatu Fishing Festival, which is a demonstration of an end to the age-long violent conflict between the two communities. Correspondent Moses Ajau Ode reports that the festival is at the instance of the Benue State Governor, who was represented by his deputy, Benson Abonu.
After several failed attempts of bringing to an end the long violent conflict between the Egba and Ologba communities of Agatu local government area of Benue State, peace has returned as the Center for Humanitarian Dialogue has succeeded in bringing the seemingly elusive peace.
Today, we are witnessing that signing of that agreement by fishing together with the Ologba, and we said never again should we carry a gun to kill one another.
Peace at the underground, under the mud there. They will fish and they will catch fish.
To demonstrate the newfound unity, the two communities had a joint fishing festival on the pond, which had been a source of hostility. among the neighboring communities who are predominantly farmers and fishermen. Close to 50 years, these communities had lived in violent clashes over ownership of this fish pond that had led to the killings of innocent lives and destruction of property. As a result, meaningful activities could not take place as markets and schools remained closed. But all those changed with the mapping of the Agatu natural resources by the Center for Humanitarian Dialogue in 2021 and the subsequent resolutions of both communities to embrace peace.
So as an organization, the Center for Humanitarian Dialogue is very happy that we have engaged the community.
By this resolution, the fish pond is now open for communal fishing festival among all the 22 clans of Agatu extraction of the Idoma Nation.
Age-long Idoma tradition has been that when you are fishing from a pond like this, everybody partakes. Everybody, even people from neighboring villages, they come there and they partake. And whatever catch they make, they share. And so we've made it clear to them that in the name of peace, let them fish this pond together.
To a non-native, at first sight, the Agatu fishing pond appears like an ordinary marshland, but the people say fish dwell underneath the moss. Moses Ajaudi, NTN News.
And that bit from Makudi Nationwide continues with comfort in Enugu after this break.
A new edition of TV Guide is out, exclusively with Professor Umar Garba Dambata, Executive Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC.
We have unveiled the 622 as a toll-free line through which consumers can be able to lodge their complaints. And we have introduced the 112 as the national emergency number.
This edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from technology, entertainment, economy, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up your copy and get abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Do you run a breast or cervical cancer service? Are you a private or public laboratory, clinic, or hospital that offer any of breast imaging, cervical cancer screening, HPV vaccination, or other breast or cervical cancer services? Is your service a primary, secondary, or tertiary center located in any part of Nigeria, no matter how remotely located it is? If yes to any of these questions, then subscribe to the OCI Foundation's Savvy Breast app and become accessible and visible to millions of Nigerians. It is all for free. To subscribe, just type the Savvy Breast application form on Google or go to the OCI Foundation's page on www.ocifoundation.org and search for Savvy Breast application form. Complete the form and submit. And let millions of Nigerians patronize you, all for free. Become part of the OCI Foundation's quest to tackle breast and cervical cancers in Nigeria. And join us as we rise by lifting others.
evening and welcome to Enugu Network Center. The Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 13 in Ukpo, Dulu Kofia, comprising of Anambra and Enugu State, Umar Musa Muri, has reassured people under the command of adequate security reform system that will combat crime within the Southeast geopolitical zone. He stated this during his familiarization visit to Enugu State. Okechukwu Agubama has details of this report.
That showcases his readiness to inform the command on some principles on the security architecture to find crimes within the state. The Assistant Inspector General of Police of the Anambra and Enugu State Command, Omar Muri, echoed the need to boost the morale of the security agents to combat crime.
So that I'll be able to talk to my men, so that we have to be on the same page with a view to upgrading security in Enugu State Command and the entire Southeast Command.
He added that the visit is to map out necessary strategies to improve the staff welfare.
I assure you, people of Enugu State and Southeast in entirety will celebrate Easter without any problem.
The Commissioner of Police Enugu State Command, Lawa Abubakar, emphasized that the familiarization tour of the duty and lecture parade of officers and men of the command is apt.
We were able to arrest a total number of 207 suspects with different criminal offenses. The suspects have committed.
The event attracted officers and men of the command within the state. In Enugu, Okechukwu Agubama, NTA News.
For now, embracing genetically modified organisms was an uphill task due to divergent information about safety. Nigeria's approval of genetic cowpea and cotton has, however, boosted hopes for technology in Nigeria and across Africa. To sensitize stakeholders on biosafety and biotechnology in the Southeast, an open forum on agricultural biotechnology and programs for biosafety systems has held in Enugu. Mina Adobe Okobasi reports.
Workshop is aimed at implementing a proactive policy in the area of biotechnology, promote biotech and biosafety, as well as discuss opportunities in biotechnology. The workshop had facilitators across Africa to discuss hybrid exposure and benefits inherent in genetically modified organisms, GMO.
You can use biotechnological tools to improve resistance to the effect of heat and lack of water so that they can survive in adverse conditions. Now, as scientists, we want to make sure that what we give out to the society, what we sell in the market, are safe.
According to the researchers, genetically modified organisms, GMOs, are intended to cut down on cost of food production associated with farming and to ensure food security.
Approvals have been given for genetically modified crops. We felt, partnering with the National Biosafety Management Agency, this is a new technology. Before you put your hands to buy it, it is good that we sensitize people.
The function of the agency is basically to put in place administrative and regulatory mechanisms to ensure that the application of modern technology is safe.
The theme of the Southeast Sensitization Workshop is the role of biosafety regulation and modern biotechnology towards realizing economic diversification in Nigeria. In Enugu, Mina Adobe Kobasi, NTA News.
And that was our contribution from Enugu. It's back to Lami in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Many thanks, Comforts. Now, the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation at a seminar held in Abuja has redefined the relationship between the benefiting entities. But Nigeria is still pushing for more cooperation in the areas of housing, energy, education and security. Elizabeth Omori reports.
This relationship dates back 1971, and both have continued to enjoy smooth and steady development. Maintenance of this harmonious cooperation is the reason for this meeting to close the gaps in infrastructural deficits.
Uphold non-interference in internal affairs,
and support multilateralism and democracy in the international relations, to promote our win-win cooperation.
Essentially, we have looked at the ways our relationships have been. So the China-Nigeria relations, we want, like say, to go beyond what is government to government, and now also to people to people. There are advantages out there that the ordinary Nigerian is supposed to take. And then in the areas of trade and investment, people need to know what to do exactly.
As a member of the Belt and Road Initiative, Nigeria, discussants say must scale up industrialization processes that will facilitate investments in housing, energy, education, and security.
The Chinese way is to adopt an independent way, the internationalization of the renminbi. So if in the interest of Africa, Nigeria, and China, we're going to engage in financial cooperation that will actually boost our cooperative independence in economic cooperation.
Nigeria is one of the fastest growing economies in sub-Saharan Africa. Panelists suggest should strengthen her export base for inclusive growth. Elizabeth Omori, NT News.
Now, the Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, says engaging media practitioners in addressing security challenges in the country will help in providing accurate information, halt fake news and motivate security agencies in the discharge of their mandate. The Director General said this in a lecture at Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, Kaduna State. Suleiman Rigachikung has the story.
As complex and dynamic the challenge of terrorism, banditry and agitation, the approach to surmount this requires multifaceted approach involving critical stakeholders. One of the platforms for stakeholders engagement, bringing together security services and the media for truthful and objective discussion on variant national security issues, is Exercise Husky View of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji.
Our interactions with the media is increasing.
Presenting a paper to participants on the topic, Addressing Security Imperatives in Nigeria, the Role of the Media, represented by the Zonal Director, NTA Kaduna Network Center, Hamza Musa Makarfi. Director General Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, said, no matter the circumstances, Nigerian media must be patriotic, objective, and unifying.
No matter the odds, no matter the difficulties we see in this country, no matter the challenges, the Nigerian Television Authority stands as a unifier. We want to bring unity to Nigerian people. We want to see why Nigeria should be one country.
During a question and answer session, the Director General emphasized the need for mutual respect, timely alertness on security breach between security agencies and the media for proper information dissemination to the public. Sulema Rigachikung, NTA News.
The National Orientation Agency, NOA, is working to ensure an inclusive crusade in the fight against drug abuse and other forms of violent crimes as the agency takes the campaign to Abuja School of the Deaf, Kuje, FCT. Kenneth Nanim reports.
This category of students have hearing impairment, but that is not in any way an impediment from engaging them for societal development and to ensure no one takes advantage of their situation to abuse their fundamental rights. It therefore becomes imperative to equip them with the required information on the dangers of drug abuse, gender-based violence, and other forms of social vices.
They too are citizens of Nigeria that must imbibe the values and the ethics as laid down for us in the National Constitution.
We want to catch them young now, so that they will know what drug is all about, the effects, what drug abuse is all about, the consequences.
Patromi James is a former student of Abuja School of the Deaf, now working with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and he is part of the crusade and also motivating other students to be optimistic in pursuing their ambitions.
When they finish from primary school here, they should be interested in further and think of what they can do to be hardworking, to to make effort, to work hard, to get job like him.
The students and the teachers are appreciative of the gesture and urge the government and good-spirited organizations and individuals to come to their aid.
Said that when she sees someone that want to abuse her, she will expose the person. They train us to not join bad gang, and they train us and advise us to not work with bad friends.
They enlisted operational vehicles for adequate monitoring of students and steady power supply as priority needs for their well-being. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
And that does it on Nationwide. We thank you for watching. Join us at 7 and 9 for more reports. Remember, the campaign against rape and rapists is still on. Join the NTA to rid society of this menace. Thank you for watching.